Good morning, everyone. We are here for a new day at Tech. Tech Unplugged. I'm still recovering from yesterday, and so we are here at NetApp Insight, and we had Balduf, architect at Solidfire, cloud architect at Solidfire.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, I will improve during the day.
That's all right. It was a long night last night.
So you do a lot of Openstack, right?
Correct. That's my primary job focus is Openstack.
So it's quite interesting now. Lately we are talking about a lot of OpenStack and containers. So we'll take the discussion that direction. First of all, I know that you are supporting the OpenStack community a lot as Solidfire, okay?
Yeah.
With a lot of contribution to the open source community also, and you have drivers. You're doing a
Right.
lot. Can you?
So one of the gentlemen that works at Solidfire was the principal project technical lead for the Cinder project within OpenStack. So for 3 years, he was the PTL for Cinder. And so we have a lot of contributions in the core of Cinder. As part of that, he's also kept our driver very up to date. And so we're very plugged into that community. John is still very, very involved in Cinder. He's not the project technical lead anymore, but he's still very, very involved. He's involved in writing the replication code, the original replication code, and so on. So myself, I do a lot more of the integration work with OpenStack. So how do we do the DevOps stuff to bring up the OpenStack? How do we make sure that Solidfire is plugged into all the installation packages and things like that? So
one of the things that pop up the most when you talk about OpenStack is about its complexity, how you have to deploy it to be successful, at least from the infrastructure point of view. I'm not talking about high...
Sure. Yeah, I think OpenStack is maturing a bit. We're seeing the distributions, Red Hat, Canonical, Ubuntu, Fuel from Mirantis becoming more and more stabilized, I would say, and they each have their deployment methodologies to do the deployment. So you really need to have kind of a good DevOps methodology to get it OpenStack deployed, and that way you can eliminate a lot of the complexity. There's a lot of bells and whistles to tune, but the reality is you want to use an automated deployment, set up the questions that need to be answered, and just have it deploy itself so that you can do that quickly. And they also help you with the upgrade process.
Yeah, and also now I'm seeing a lot of discussion about container now, and a little bit less about OpenStack.
Yeah, I see containers are very, it's the hot topic, right? Everybody wants to talk about that, but it's very interesting because the container ecosystem doesn't have a good deployment methodology for bare metal servers. So what I think we're going to start to see is a lot of OpenStack where you're using that for the actual bare metal pieces of it to get the hypervisors going, and then within that you're going to deploy a containers framework. So we use something like the OpenStack Magnum project, which will allow us to deploy Docker Swarm. It will allow us to deploy Mesos and Marathon and Kubernetes. So you have your choice. You can spin each of those up, and therefore OpenStack is the underlying hardware management layer.
Okay, good. And what about your role in all of this? Because we talked about your contribution to the OpenStack community. We talked about the fact that now you can run OpenStack and container into the OpenStack environment.
So there's a couple things we're doing there. One, Solidfire brings quality of service. That's one of the key things that we've engineered into Cinder, and we've always done that. A lot of other vendors have been able to pick up bits and pieces of that. I think ours is unique. But it's very important that your cloud users get what they're looking for, right? When they subscribe to a piece of storage, they want to be able to get that performance. And so I think that's really important. We bring that to the table. We bring scalability and a bunch of other things. And in addition to that, we've been doing some work lately with how to connect Docker directly to Cinder. So once you're in that, you've got that Docker ecosystem deployed, you can use the Cinder Docker driver to ask for volume services directly from OpenStack. So it gives you a couple options on how you're going to get your storage into the container ecosystem that you've deployed within OpenStack.
And as far as I know, NetApp the sum of NetApp and Solidfire is a huge part of the
It is.
OpenStack installations in terms of storage, of course.
It is, yeah, and Solidfire doesn't solve all OpenStack storage issues, right? There are pieces that you may need to grab some NetApp, there's other ways to do it, but I think a very, very good deployment strategy is to have Solidfire for block storage, you have NetApp for some of the auxiliary stuff and some of the user things around NAS and some of those kinds of things. They have a lot of functionality there.
Okay, Ed, thank you very much for your time. It was
You're
very
welcome.
helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you.